Good day, fellow avatars and gamers and non-gamers. This is Drizzt, and playing Shroud of the Avatar, Spiritual Success to Ultima Online. And today I'm going to start a new segment that I'm going to lovingly call Storytime with Drizzt. And it is inspired by one of the greatest morning programs of all time. And that's my only hint I'm going to give. And for those of you that can figure it out, well, now you know what the greatest morning program of all time is. So, like the name entails, basically I'm going to be reading a story, and it's going to be a quick little story, so maybe 3-4 minutes long, 5 minutes, not that big. And one of the greatest things about this game that I enjoy very much is the books that you can find in this game. The books that are literally written by other players. The stories, you find them in dungeons, in buildings, all over, just scattered about. You can pick them up. You can write books. You can find blank ones. You can copy them. It's really a great thing that this game has to offer. And as you can see right here, I've already acquired a fair amount of books. I have more in a chest that I haven't put out yet, but these are the ones I currently have displayed. So this is where I'm going to start. So there I am, sitting in my wizard's tower. So without further ado, the one I'm going to be reading is called the Grimm Sisters Anthology 1. So let's open that up and turn on my read emote. There we go. And one thing that would be cool is if we could have this little thing change so it's not so in your face. But, you know, this is what we have to work with. So here we go. The Grimm Sisters Anthology of the Mysterious and the Macabre. Volume 1, the Many Rose Edition. Compiled by Vamika and Rupugna. Published by the Library of Novia in the year 400 after the Cataclysm. A Tale of Braemar by Royal Sexy. Whiz is the best word to describe the sound the boy's sling made as he spun it over his head. He loosed a stone and startled a loser basking on the side of the mountain, part of the range known as the Bone Spires. I am so bored. Nothing ever happens here, the boy complained to his friend. Well, let's go explore the beach, down south, Damon, the older boy replied. If we catch some clams and crabs, the inn will pay well for them. That's a brilliant idea, Albie. I'll tell my folks and grab a few supplies, Damon replied. The two boys were as close as brothers, having grown up together in the sleepy forest village of Braemar. Soon after sunrise, they set off, backpacks full of camping supplies, and an optimistic quantity of nets and sacks for their catch. They arrived late the next day and set up their camp at the base of the cliffs. A cold wind was picking up. The sun was setting, so they decided to wait until morning to go hunting for shellfish. Tired from the hike, they slept easily, though a little uncomfortably, with the wind rising as night fell. A booming crack of thunder directly overhead woke the boys. Disorientated and startled, moments before the rain came pelting down, driven straight into their meager shelter by the wind. Both boys scrambled to pack up their gear as they knew the beach wasn't a safe place in a heavy storm. Damon stumbled outside first, looking around and seeing that the tide had risen to their left where they had entered the beach. To the right, the wet cliffs rose straight up from the sea to the ruin-covered bluffs and would be impossible to scale. Damon, the cave! Shouted Abby over the thunder and screaming wind. Damon, heart pounding, looked to where Albie was pointing and made out the hollow just above them during a bright flash of lightning. They scrambled up the terraced stones into the cave mouth, but were still being pelted by rain. Albie muttered the spell he'd learned from a wandering wizard recently, the only spell a boy of his age was trusted with, and a soft glowing orb appeared over his head. He'd been quietly proud to learn he had a natural talent for summoning magic. They could see that the cave extended deeper under the cliffs and moved further inside. The rock passage gave way to a larger room, and they could see a rectangular shape on the flat floor on the cavern. The boys glanced at each other and started laughing giddily. "We've been coming to this beach for years and never knew this place was here," exclaimed Damon. Abby nodded and bent to examine the intricately rune-carved surface of the granite block. "Look, there's a joint here. I bet this is a lid. Maybe some pirate's treasure stash," Abby said, running a finger over the strangely warm stone. "Give me a hand." Both boys pushed hard and managed to shift the lid with a grating of stone on stone. One hand span, then another. It shifted, and an eldritch blue glow started emanating from within. They both jumped as a metal gate slammed down with a deafening crash, cutting them off from the passage they'd entered through. Abby's light spell ran out. In the dark, Damon began to sob raggedly, his heart again pumping fit to burst through his chest. A voice came from the sarcophagus they had unwittingly opened. "Who dares to disturb my slumber?" the vast voice boomed. "We're so sorry, sir," Abby gabbled. But Damon had had too many frights for one day and took off running deeper under the cliffs, assuming Abby was right behind him. But when he'd found sunlight, he realized he was alone. Several days later, the townsfolk of Braemar found Damon hiding in a stand of trees halfway back to town. Abby was never seen again, and Damon could never be coaxed to speak of it. In fact, he never spoke much of again after that day. On windy summer nights, blue lights can be seen in the distance by someone standing on the southern slopes of the Bone Spires, moving around on the beach and through the ruins of Ravensmoor. No one knows what became of Abby, but strong warriors fear to open the 2 stone coffins in the cave. Dun dun dun. So there we go. That was the Grimm Sisters Anthology 1. And we have a few more here, which I will get to in time. But this was my first edition of Storytime with Drizzt, and we'll see what happens. So don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to comment in the comment section. And until next time, have a great day.